Hey everyone, it's Jay Wilburn, Captain Three Kidneys. I was going to talk today a little bit about recovery and some of the things I'm dealing with, but also some struggles I'm having with diet. So maybe some people can relate to that. I had to cut my walk short today because I had to go to the hospital. Nothing bad. I'm not sick in particular, but had to get blood work done twice a week because of the rejection. So making sure that my numbers are right and a few things they wanted to check up on. One of the things that I'm dealing with is the diet, trying to keep weight down. I'm in a tricky spot because I have to eat enough protein and nutrients and stuff like that to keep the keep deterioration from going. Some of the steroids and immunosuppressives I'm on kind of break down muscle and leach off nutrients and that kind of thing. Having cramps a lot at night in my legs, so I'm having to find ways to get more magnesium and potassium and calcium. So I'm eating a lot of kale, adding that in, and spinach, and then pumpkin seeds and almonds and a bunch of other things along those lines. And that's kind of trying to add back in. I had a better night last night, so, bananas, stuff like that, and so that's working out. My problem, of course, is a little bit of portion control. The steroids, in particular, have increased my appetite. Didn't used to really have a sweet tooth. I kind of had a bad habit of when we were traveling, I'd grab candy or soda when we stopped at gas stations. So I've been working hard to break that habit. But I was never really like a dessert guy. Now I love it. Like I could eat dessert after every meal multiple times. So that's kind of my weakness. One cheat I'm doing is I've switched to only water now that they have me drinking like a gallon or more a day. There's not a lot of room for other stuff, but I love sweet tea and that kind of thing. So cutting out everything except water was kind of an easy cheat to kind of give me a little bit of an edge. So I'm not gaining as fast, but having to work a little harder to put it back off. I'm exercising a lot, but you can't out exercise bad diet. Fortunately, most all the foods I'm eating are very, very healthy. Aside from when I get into sweets or whatever, I'm also finding that if I stay up too late at night, then I'm more likely to snack. So I'm kind of switching over. Black beans are good, so I'm looking for ways to do like create your own black bean dip and that kind of stuff to kind of trick myself into feel like I'm snacking, but I'm actually getting some of the nutrients I need. And then kind of the same thing with almonds and a couple things like that. I've kind of gotten a taste for them, so that's worked out pretty well. Uh, all that to say, like this is just part of the recovery. So I know, we struggle with all these things. I've said it other places, but recovery is this amazing, amazing process. Whether you're recovering physically or, from mental difficulties or addiction or whatever it is that you're fighting. Even when it doesn't work out, even when you have setbacks, recovery is just amazing. It's an amazing process. It's humanity at its best, even in the hardest parts of the struggle. Um, it when you are in darkness, when you're in a rough spot, it's tempting to be cynical and cold and alone, and you can feel all those things. There's nothing wrong with having sort of a darker mindset, but even in those situations, even when you're a person that kind of sees the dark side of things, you can still allow yourself to feel hope and joy and faith and peace. Those things don't make a lot of sense most of the time. Love, joy, faith, peace. Like it makes more sense to be cynical. It makes more sense to be dark. It makes more sense to see what's wrong with things because there's a lot of examples of it. I think it's okay to be that. I think we're human, and that's just part of reality. But you don't have to let go of that other stuff. So when you take the stuff that doesn't make sense in the situation, you're in full renal failure, but you decide to have hope. You decide to have peace. You decide to let yourself feel joy. I was in chronic pain all the time before the transplant. Being out of pain is one of the most beautiful things in the world, just to not feel it anymore. Um, and even in those moments, you're allowed to feel joy. You're allowed to find hope. You're allowed to believe that there's still light and there's still a way out. And if you let yourself do that, if you just open yourself up and be vulnerable, not only to other people, but to your own weaknesses, you prime yourself to accept small victories. So like that, you're struggling and you're struggling and you have all these setbacks with recovery, whether it's physical or otherwise. But then you let yourself feel hope when that tiny victory comes, that little thing that is just a step up from where you were before, you are primed to see it as a victory, and then it becomes a stepping stone to your next thing. If you closed yourself off to that, if you're a person that sees things dark because you're surrounded by darkness, but you've locked yourself off to where you refuse to feel hope, you refuse to have faith, you refuse to feel joy or peace in any kind of small thing, that small victory feels small. It feels insignificant, and it can't be used then. So even if hope doesn't make sense in the bottom place where you are, there's an advantage to letting yourself feel it, because when that stepping stone, however small it is, comes along, you can use it. You can feel it. It can inspire you to feel more hope and joy, which makes you ready for the next thing. And the people all around you that are trying to help you, people that you may not even see because you're in the darkness, they are they're more easily readily available to reach you then, because you're making an upward trajectory, you're doing recovery. And it's amazing. It's the universe is primed for entropy, but life and creativity, all these things go the opposite direction of entropy. And so when you allow yourself to feel those nonsense things, those things that go against the laws of the universe, hope is not a force that, if you look at the universe as this process that's going on, there's not a scientific backing for hope, or peace or love or any of those kind of things. You choose to feel them anyway, even in the moments where they make the least sense, and that's when you need them the most. So again, recovery is just amazing. Whoever you are and whatever you're recovering from, whatever broken state that you're in, and you decide to move in that particular trajectory, that's an amazing, amazing thing. And you have my full respect and love and support, and me by your side as we walk through the darkness. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link down at the bottom is to a post I wrote about recovery very, very shortly after my transplant and what I was experiencing then. So check that out, and thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.